Well, good morning, Linda.
Good morning.
Be
Boy, it's so different out without the wind blowing.
yeah, beautiful place now. Well, we are in a pretty place. We got here yesterday afternoon. This is on the outskirts of the town of Valier, Montana, Valier, and we're just an hour's drive north of Great Falls, Montana. That's the thing about Montana. Well, the eastern half of Montana, the wind does blow. And if the wind's not blowing, though, it's minus 27 or it's 110. Montana gets its extremes in temperature. We usually don't get any violent weather except the occasional tornado and hailstorms. But other than that, it's a nice place. Well, we're on the banks of Lake Francis, and this out here is an island. It looks great for boating and fishing. The water levels are really low now because it fills up in the springtime. And this, of course, today's the first day of fall, actually. That line of mountains out there is actually really close. I could probably drive there in 20 minutes. That's the Rocky Mountains. And they extend all the way up into Canada. You see these clouds up here? Those are the ones that are telling us that it's going to blow like heck in a little while. Those are caused by high winds up aloft. And pretty soon they'll be down touching the surface again. So we're camped at a city park in Valier. It's $10 a night for no hookups. It's a tent site. And there's not too many of these, I guess. Then there's a whole bunch of hookup sites. Most of them only have electricity, and a few of them have full hookups. And of course, those go up to like $45 a night or something like that. But it was very peaceful here last night, except for the wind rattling the trailer. Other than that, everything was fine. Well, the wind is really blowing today, but only a fraction of what it can blow. This is the Two Medicine River in Montana. And we're in an area that's referred to as Rock City. They call it Rock City because of all these hoodoos. It's not exactly clear which way we should go. I'm looking down through here. Seeing the fall colors. I lost Linda somewhere. I got to go back and see if I can find her. Well, this area is about 8 or 10 miles north of Valier, Montana. And it's literally in the middle of nowhere. Thousands and thousands of acres of wheat is all you see. Flat land and wheat until you get here. Well, she found me. They say this is all done by wind erosion, and I believe it, the way the wind blows. This is just one of those places you find when you get out and explore the back roads. We had heard about this place years ago, but we never came here. And then we wanted to kind of do some exploring in our own general area, and we decided to come up here, and frankly, I'm pretty amazed. This is a beautiful place, and you wouldn't know it was here just driving by. When you're on the level ground up above and you're just driving through all the acres of wheat, you'd never know. And getting out here, you head due north out of Valier on Highway 358, but you keep going straight even when the highway curves. And then it even turns to just a little 2-track dirt road for about a mile or so. And then you enter state land. This is state land here.
We gotta go through Bear Alley.
Linda's referring to all the thick brush down here along the river. Yeah, that'd be a good place for a bear to hang out.
So, this is the famous Two Medicine River. Mentioned a lot in, if you read any of Ivan Doig's novels. A lot of his stories take place around this part of Montana.
It's bigger than I thought it was. I thought it was just a creek, but it's not. It's that's creek, folks. We don't say creek here in Montana. Anyways, what I'm saying is, I thought it was just small. I didn't realize it was as big as it is. And this is also low flow. I'm sure it's a lot higher in the springtime. Nice, clear looking water, though.
The color from up above looks like glacial melt river. Oh, it's not bad.
Would you bathe in it?
No. On a hot day, I might stick my feet in it.
Freshwater clams. Pretty big. Look at this little critter. I wonder what that is. I came from the direction that Linda's coming from here, and there's a tripod in the brush over there. I believe it's a property marker, and I think that means that the land now is privately owned. We were on state land. In Montana, you're allowed to walk along the river up to as far as the high water mark, and that would be considered all public access. You can't cross private land to get here, or to get to a place like that, but if you come to a bridge or some other public right-of-way that gets you to the river, then you can follow that river along as far as it goes. We kept finding pieces of rock that looked like it was obsidian, but it was really crumbly, and it's coal. So there's coal all along the riverbank here. Of course, Montana does have large deposits of coal. You could find enough coal to keep your campfire going for quite a while. Well, this is the wind that I said was going to be coming up a little later. It's here. Linda and I are going to make our way back to camp, and we may go find someplace else to camp or just find a way to hunker down for the rest of the afternoon. But I hope you enjoyed this part of the tour anyway. When you see layers like this in the rock, it's got to be loaded with fossils. Well, this is totally the wrong time of day to be videoing this. I imagine at sunset tonight, this place would just light up and give it depth. And on top of that, we got a cloudy sky. But it is worth coming to. Now you can stay here in this parking lot for up to 2 nights, but a better place to camp would be just nearby in the town of Valier at the city RV park. It's a really nice place, it really is. And we're not far from East Glacier here. Glacier National Park is within an hour from here. You could actually stay here in Valier and range out and see Glacier National Park in the summertime. There are no restaurants in Valier. There is a small store and there is a gas station. That's pretty much it. Well, we're done here. Boy, the wind picked up so much, almost wants to blow us away.
It did me.
And we're gonna head back to camp now, get some lunch. And then I don't know where we're gonna go from here, but we're tired of the wind. I think we're gonna head up into the forest someplace. Now you guys are all familiar with this type of stove, right? This is one that Linda and I keep in the trailer for for those days when we need to cook indoors. Like the last couple days because it's been so windy. But there's something about these things that I just hate. And these aren't cheap, although I buy them by the dozen online. They're a lot cheaper than buying them in the stores, about half the price, but they're still not cheap. And the thing is, when this gets low, this stove will run at this little tiny flame for like another hour. In other words, you can't boil water with it, but it's not out of gas yet either. It just goes down to this little tiny flame that's good for nothing. Well, lately, these stoves have come out with a feature that transfers heat from the burner over to this bottle. Because what happens is this bottle gets cold when that gas is coming out of the nozzle here. It actually freezes and it gets cold, and that's one of the things that makes it so that the flame isn't near as hot. Now what I did on this one is I made my own piece of metal. I made it out of a piece of aluminum here, and it comes off the burner right here, and it comes down here and loops around and goes underneath the bottle. And what it does is it gets pretty warm down here in the bottom, and it makes it so it burns better at the end. But the thing is that now you can buy these stoves that already have this in them. And this company called Gas One makes one like that has this heating feature for this bottle. And my suggestion to you is that you never buy one of these stoves unless it has that bottle warming feature on it that makes you get more out of the bottle. That way you don't get the last half hour to an hour of hardly usable flame, unless you're just trying to simmer something real slow for a long time, which is usually not going to be the case. You usually just want to get some water boiled. Anyways, I just thought I'd show you that. Hey, if I can find the link to this particular stove that's already made like that, I'll put it in the video description down below, so you might, if you're interested, you might check there. I'll see if I can find one for you. What you got going there, Linda?
I got some chow mein noodles going on. Got the noodles in warm water in here. Break them apart.
Just some good old great value chow mein noodles.
Usually I have to add some other seasonings to make them taste like chow mein or fried noodles. I got some chopped steak. I sliced really thin strips. Cook those up. Then I'll add some of the veggies that I cut up that I bring along in Tupperware from home. I don't know if bears like broccoli.
We might find out tonight.
Maybe.
Well, we're currently camped in the Rocky Mountains. I showed you from Valier how close the mountains were, and this is a campground in the Rocky Mountains, just west of Choteau, Montana. Of course, this is real bear country, so
yeah.
we gotta be real careful here.
It's funny because we are in grizzly country and there's no bear signs, and we're down on the plains in Valier they had bear signs all over. The bears have learned to go back to the plains where they originally lived. Well, so far it looks good.
Yeah, it looks very good. To keep things simple, we like a one-pot meal whenever possible. Sometimes we'll do a little more fancy, like cooking rice and a one-pot meal. But other than that, we keep things pretty basic, but tasty. We just bought these insulated bowls at a Sportsman's Warehouse not too long ago. They're stainless steel and they have a nice
Silicone lid.
silicone cover that goes on top to keep your food hot. Because that's one of the reasons we do one-pot meals is because we don't like our food getting cold before we can eat it. So just like to keep things nice and simple. And eating your meal out of an insulated bowl helps. Okay, she just added the chow mein noodles and just warming it up now.
Yeah, I like these mixes because the noodles they don't have to be refrigerated, and you don't have to cook them. Basically, you just heat them up.
This is coming down the hillside right behind our camp. This is a very steep hill, too steep to walk up. Linda says it's a bear slide. That's food for thought. Well, good morning. Right now I'm along the South Fork of the Teton River, and it's really nice to wake up in the Rocky Mountains. It is so massive and incredible looking. Very, very awe-inspiring, I guess. I was hoping for sunshine, you know, morning sunshine, lighting everything up and lighting up all these leaves, but that's not to be so because it's just totally overcast this morning. You know, I'll tell you a grizzly bear story because this is, the Rocky Mountains is the only place that Linda and I have ever run into a grizzly bear. One time we were exploring future hunting areas. It was back when we used to hunt all the time. We don't do it so much anymore because it's expensive to go hunting. Anymore it is. Hey, but anyways, we had parked our truck and we had hiked this long loop trail that went back into the mountains and went clear around. It was probably, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 mile loop trail. And then it would come out right near where we parked the truck. Well, we had hiked the whole thing, and I was carrying my hunting rifle for safety because it is bear country and you got to be so careful. But we were almost back out. We'd been hiking for hours and we were just maybe a half a mile shy of the end of the trail, right? And we stopped to drink some water, and I told Linda, I was looking down the trail, I says, "What's that great big rock in the middle of the trail?" And she looked at it and she says, "You mean the one that's moving?" And it was the hind end of a huge grizzly. And the wind was in our favor. At that point, we had two choices. Either to go the 4 or 5 miles back the way we had just came, or go up this steep mountainside and over the top and down to where the truck was on the other side, because we were coming to the end of that ravine or whatever. And I turned to tell Linda the two choices, and she was already booking it up that mountainside. It was all I could do to catch up. Anyways, that grizzly never saw us, and we had quite the climb going up and then back down the other side, and the truck was on the other side. Yeah, we used to love to hunt. But, you know, when you figure you spend the summer months scouting for a place to hunt, that's fun. You know, you're scouting out new territory and everything. But then when you throw in the gasoline and the meals out and maybe the hotel or motel expenses, and then the price of the hunting license kept going higher and higher and higher, and Bambi got to be real expensive after a while. When you looked at it, it didn't make any sense. Unless you go out and you get an elk or something, you know, which is, you know, 400 pounds of meat. That's a good thing. But I've never been too lucky in finding elk. My friends do, and I've got a son-in-law that used to bring them home all the time. And he shared, so that was nice. Anyhow, that's why we stopped hunting. But now I look at the price of beef in the stores now, $10 a pound for anything fit to eat. Wow, unreal. It's enough to turn me into a vegetarian. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. I think I'm gonna go back and make some coffee. We just went for a little drive from our camp spot, which is National Forest, $10 a night. In this area, it's a $5 a night with your Golden Age pass. And we just pulled in here to do a little target practicing. Now we're getting ready to head into town, which is about 20 miles away, and maybe get some lunch. I need to upload a video. Yeah, we're constantly in search of 4 bars of 4G to get the videos up. I don't have one for tomorrow morning, which is our normal Friday upload, so I got to get that out for you guys. Well, how do you tell an aspen from a birch? It's as easy as your ABCs. See the A? A. A. Yeah. On aspen trees, the trunks are covered with A's. Just in case you were wondering. Oh, what a beautiful morning. I just wish this portion of fall would last a little longer. It fades so fast. We got out yesterday and did some target practicing, which we're not allowed to show or talk about on this platform. And don't bother mentioning it in the comments or anything. That's YouTube. It's a private company. That's their policy. On monetized channels like this one, you can't show any of that. So, but we had fun, didn't we? Mm-hmm. It was a blast. We got some new
Hellcats.
Hellcats, yeah, and we had to go.
Say that.
We can say that, yeah. And we got to go try them out. We loved them.
Yeah, and I like mine.
Yeah, very nice. So onwards, let's go finish our coffee and go see what the day brings.
Okay.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been a little chillier than what we're used to, but there's always Arizona, right?
Yep.
That won't be for a couple of months for us. So we'll be doing more filming here in and around Montana. Hope you guys enjoy it. See you around.